Hey, this G Butterfly. Welcome to the Watch and Whisper channel. Today we're going to talk about Belle Collective. This is going to be just a quick overview of episode one. Um, it's a reality show that's based in Jackson, Mississippi. The first season came on, I want to say it was 2000, maybe early 2021, but I think because of COVID and some other things, it didn't come back. But I was really glad to see it came back because I actually watched every episode from the initial season. So I thought they had a really good storyline, and it's on the OWN channel. Now, this season, episode one, there's Letitia and Glenn. There's also Tambra, Alkeisha, and Willie. They're the newbies this season, along with So Gucci and JJ. Now, if any of you have ever watched Dancing Dolls, that's the DD4L with Coach D, JJ was Son Jay's dad, and he was absolutely hilarious on there. So I want to see what he's going to bring to the Belle Collective. He's married to So Gucci. I'm sorry, So Gucci. And there's also Marie is on here. Now, the very first episode of this season, again, I wrote all my notes down. I actually had the first video, but my phone went on the blink and I lost the whole video, so I wasn't able to upload it last Monday when my phone decided to cut a fool. Well, anyway, again, I'm just going to read some of my notes and give a quick overview, and then I'll go into another video for episode two. So Latrice kind of let everybody know in her confessionals, without coming out and saying it, that she got had some breast work done. And I ain't mad at her, honey. Do what you got to do to improve what you got. I ain't mad. Later on in the episode, she actually said she had a breast lift, and I think she had implants as well. Now, she is the owner of Goddess Lengths Hair Company, and she's married to Cliff, who she affectionately calls Zaddy. There's a 20-year age difference in them. One thing I do notice about Latrice is that she references their age difference quite often. Why? I don't know, but she does. Now, he wants a more traditional wife. He wants her to really consider having a baby. He already has 5 children, and Latrice says that the relationship with his older 4 children is a little strained, but the 16-year-old daughter that he has, they have a really good relationship, and the daughter respects her like a homegirl. Now, she has an issue with the older children. Mind you, there's a 20-year age difference with her and Cliff. She says that the older children do not respect her as a mother. I'm like, well, Latrice, you really shouldn't expect that because they're close to your age. As long as they respect the marriage and they respect your position, it's okay. Let them just respect you as a human being and keep it moving, because you're asking for a lot if you want them to respect you as a mother. Now, with that being said, Cliff asked her, would she consider having a baby? And she said, absolutely not. She said on a scale from 0 to 10, no, on a scale from 1 to 10, her desirability to have a baby is at a 0. And Cliff really wants a baby. So I want to see how that is going to play out during the rest of the season. She said she feel like Cliff wants her to slow down. That's why he wants her to have a baby. And she said that's just not feasible right now where she is in her professional life. And she just has no desire to have a child. And they may go into more detail this season why she has a strong opposition to having a baby. Now, let's see what else happened. Letitia, she has opened up her own company. It's Letitia Pearson Enterprises. She let everybody know that she and her husband Glenn are separated. She's living with her mother with her son. She and Glenn have been married, I think, I think she says she and Glenn have been married since they were 18 years old, and they have a 6-year-old son. However, 8 years into their marriage, she found out that Glenn cheated on her. So that's been a issue between them. And she knew about the infidelity. However, it's just coming out now that there may potentially be a child. So that's going to be talked about throughout this particular episode. Well, Glenn came over to her mother's house to pick up the son, and I think the baby's name is Josh. I think that, and if I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. I think the son's name is Josh. Well, one thing I did like, when he came to her mother's house, the mother embraced him and they hugged, and she was like, hello. You could tell that that was a genuine hug. And I said I was glad to see that, because even though Letitia and Glenn at the moment are separated, you can tell the mom is not picking sides, because she still treated him like a son. And I'm sure with Glenn being married to her daughter for 18 years, she probably feels like he's her son. And the mother just walked out of the kitchen, where at that moment, Glenn and Letitia started talking. And he wanted to talk about their separation, and she said no. He said she was just avoiding the conversation. She said, no, I'm not avoiding it. I'm just not ready right now. And plus, Josh is right there. So the baby was an earshot. And I guess she wanted to make sure that she didn't let him hear a conversation that make him feel a little bit more sad. Because she says she and her son Josh both want their family dynamic to go back to what it was. But they can't right now because of what's going on with Glenn. And the camera panned over to Josh, and he just looked like he was sad, confused. And I was like, man, I wish they just wouldn't even show this baby on camera, because you can tell that he's affected by his parents not being together. Well, Glenn agreed that he would go ahead and take Josh. I guess it was his weekend to get Josh, and he left. And at that moment, Letitia's mom walked back into the kitchen, and Letitia broke down and started crying. And I think Letitia loves her husband, and she wants her marriage to work. However, they're not in a good place right now. Excuse me. And then later on in the episode, she said she felt like she's outgrown her husband too. So that really could be a problem. Let's see. She says she has she says she has 10 streams of income. And I was thinking, if she had 10 streams of income, why would she go stay with her mom? But then I thought about it some more. And I said, maybe she wanted to make certain that her and Glenn were either going to work it out or not going to work it out. And she probably didn't want to incur a lot of costs of probably getting another place to stay, possibly taking the baby out of his school zone and disrupting his life even more by getting another place to stay. So I said, okay, maybe that's pretty smart. And again, maybe she's just doing that until she decides where she's going to stay. Her friend Marie. Now, Marie says that she has several multi-million-dollar businesses in Jackson, Mississippi. I said, you go, girl. She said that her ride or die Essie. Now, anybody who saw the first season know that there was a lot of speculation around her and Essie's relationship. All of the people on YouTube that were doing reviews was saying that it appeared that she and Essie could have been more than friends. But she said, no, that's absolutely not the case. And she and Essie are just business partners, ride or dies, and friends. And she says she's going to be the first black woman in Mississippi to own her own methadone clinic. And she also said that now her mother is living with her. She gave a quick backstory and said how her mother was always addicted to drugs for as long as she could remember. And her mother didn't raise her because she was out in the streets doing whatever she had to do as far as her drug addiction. So she was raised by her father and her grandmother. But she said how her mother's absence from her life actually has affected her up into adulthood. So she said now that her mother's living back with her, she likes it, and she's hoping that they can grow from there. But I'm sure during this season, we're going to hear some more about the dynamics between her and her mother. Marie has 3 sons and a very small daughter, and the small daughter is with her. I think she and Cedric are separated. I don't know if they're actually divorced, but she found out that Cedric was cheating, and she says she knows that Cedric has been cheating on her for years. And now she just don't know where they are because she just packed up and walked away. She hasn't had a conversation with Cedric, so she really don't know where they are. Well, her oldest son, Jerez, anyone who saw the first season know that she and Jerez kind of had a rocky relationship. Jerez was, I think, a freshman or a sophomore in college. However, he had 2 baby mamas back home and 2 or 3 children between those 2 moms. Well, during the hiatus, one of his children's mother, I think the baby's name is Zane, his mother was murdered in a car. She was only 18 years old, and the car was riddled with bullets. The baby was in the back seat. Thank God the baby wasn't hit. So now Jerez is a single father, and Marie says she's going to step up and help her son do whatever he needs to do to take care of this baby and the other children that he has. And he was telling her, I'm really going to need your help. And she was like, don't worry about it. I got you. I got you. And we know as parents, that's what we tend to do with our children. If we see that they need help, we try to help them as much as we can without being a crutch for them. Now, she and Jerez were talking in her office, and again, she assured him that she had his back, and he was saying how it's still affecting him, his son's mother being murdered. And the scene cut where she was playing with the little baby, and the little baby passed gas in her face. And it was funny because it kind of lightened the mood, because you could tell that was a very emotionally heavy topic for them to have, a topic of conversation for them to have. So let's see. Now, Tambra Cherie. She's a DJ in the Jackson, Mississippi area, and she has some other things she has going on. They mentioned it last season, but honestly, I wasn't that really interested in what she had going on, so I don't remember. But this year, she said she has a tea line coming out. She said her tea line is in a few stores, but she's trying to get it distributed to other stores. And I didn't write the name of the tea line down. Usually, I try to write down names of businesses and things like that. I just forgot. Alrighty, so Letitia has a friend named Taisha, and she came to visit her at her office. Well, Tambra last season had started seeing, what is this boyfriend's name? Had started seeing a former boyfriend that she had from years ago. And, oh, Damon, that was his name. Tambra last season was trying to rekindle something with Damon, and she was saying how she wanted to have children. She had some fibroid issues. Well, Taisha was in Letitia's office, and she made a little reference about how is Tamara your friend now? And she was like, well, Letitia said she's my friend. She was like, yeah, your play friend. So Letitia asked her, why do you say that? You know, Tambra's really nice with me. She said there's an issue between her and Tambra, but Tambra doesn't know about the issue. Taisha told Letitia that she has been dating Damon for years, off and on. They've been intimate and everything. But she said, Tisha, you know who he is? And she was like, no. She said, the guy I always talk about it, we call him Greedy. And Letitia's eyes was like, what? She said, that's Damon. But Tambra doesn't know him as Greedy. Tambra know him as Damon. Well, while she was sitting in there talking with Letitia, the camera kept going back and forth, where Tambra and Damon was at the fertility specialist talking to him, to the doctor, because they want to have a baby. But Tambra is adamant that she's not going to have a child unless she's married. She told the doctor that she and Damon, as many times as I guess that they've been intimate, they've never been intimate unprotected, but they want to get to a place where they can potentially have a baby. But again, she's adamant that she has to be married. Well, I'm gonna try to wrap this up really quick. Letitia was saying that she could not believe that Tambra is dating Damon, who her friend Taisha is dating, that she knows as Greedy. So we're going to see how that's going to play out. I'm really sure both ladies are going to meet up somewhere during this season. I say, ooh, that just sounds like some mess. Sound like some mess. Well, anyway, Latrice was saying that she wanted to have a high tea for the ladies to come to. Well, excuse me. She invited her friends, and she had a friend that came named Melanie, who's also her publicist, and she stands about 6'2", but they were saying she has time management issues, because I guess that's just a nice way of saying, hell, for you late all the time. I know people like that in my own family, always late. I have never understood how can people be late to every damn thing, but you know, that's neither here nor there. We talking about the people over here in Jacksonville, Mississippi, not here in Houston, Texas. All right, so that's when they introduced So Gucci. And she's one of the newbies, and she's the top real estate agent in Mississippi, and she's a certified personal trainer. And Cliff, who is Latrice's husband, knows JJ, and they've been knowing each other for a very long time. And again, Latrice threw out the age difference. She say, oh, they met each other back before I was born. I don't know why she does that, but it may come out later. Let's see. So Tambra comes to the tea, and she come in with a mink. What's her name? Letitia comes to the tea in a real big thick wool jacket. I'm like, somebody not dressed right for this event, because the other ladies look like they had spring clothes on. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna need them to get their fashions together, because maybe some thought it was winter and some thought it was spring, because honey, that's how they was dressed, and it wasn't cute. But anyway, so we're gonna keep on going. Let's see. That's when Latrice finally came out and told everybody that she had some breast work done. Letitia confided in the group about Glenn cheating and that there may be a baby. But she said the kind of woman that she is, that if her and Glenn decide that they were going to work on their marriage and stay together, and if they found out that a woman does have a child for Glenn, that she would want to take the child from the woman and raise it as her own. And so Gucci was like, let Glenn raise his own damn baby. But I understand where she was coming from, because she want the family to be a unit. I know that's where she was going with that. I'm talking about Letitia, not Gucci. Gucci was like, hell, damn Glenn and his outside baby. So Tambra was asking no, I'm sorry, Letitia at the tea, because they were all sitting at the table, was asking Tambra, how is everything going with her and Damon? And she said everything was going with her and Damon. They're talking about getting married. They're talking about having a baby. And so Letitia's sitting over there like, oh, really? Oh, everything is going that well? Because in her mind, she's thinking, you making those plans with Damon. Damon is making plans with my friend for them to hook up because they've been doing it over and over. So that's going to come out. Now, Tambra say that she knows that Letitia is having some relationship issues, and she know that that's why she's asking all the relationship questions, and she know it's coming from a good place. And in my mind, I say, girl, that's coming from a nosy place, because you just don't know the juice that your friend Letitia know, but you're going to find out. Now, what else happened over here? Glenn said that he wanted to work things out with his wife. He don't want them to live in separate houses, that he want his family back together. He's willing to do whatever it takes for his family to be under one roof again. He know that he's not a perfect man. He said he knows he's not a perfect man. But he said he definitely want to work things out. And again, she says she feel like she's outgrown him. She gonna keep saying that? That's gonna be an issue. But he said he definitely wants his wife home. And she said, but the day you proposed, because he did a second proposal in the first season. They had already been married for years. He proposed again, I guess, for them to have a second wedding. I'm sorry. She said, the day that you did that proposal to me, you were texting some other woman the same night. And so he said that again, that he wasn't a perfect man. And so she told him, she said, you're taking my penis. And I don't know when somebody else's anatomy becomes the property of somebody else's. You know, grown people going to do what they want to do with their anatomy. I'm just saying. She said, how can you take my penis and put it in another woman? He said, that has nothing to do with him taking care of his family. I say, Glenn, go sit down with that bullshit. So the scene ended with her asking Glenn, is this your baby? Is that your baby? That's how the scene cut. So we're going to see in season episode 2 how all of this is going to play out for the ladies over there at the Belle Collective. But that's all I got for episode 1. Get down in the comments and tell me what you think about it. And you know I'll get in the comments with you. I'll talk to y'all later. This is G Butterfly.